Mizzets have been cut out, which I don't know if I'm sold on Niv Mizzet being cut, but pretty sure I never liked the lava coils to begin with. But this is a 5-0 list from a few weeks ago, and my friend's been playing a list that's maybe not exactly the same, but pretty similar to it to good results, so figured we'd give it a try. The one of Opt in the main deck and the one of Spell Pierce in the sideboard really confused me. Play first. This hand seems lit. I think when you play Jeskai, you have to use words like lit. This is unfortunate. All of the Watery Grave decks probably dominate this. And our hand's got multiple dead cards versus this type of deck. So we're pretty much going to be down a game to start. There's no reason to bluff anything. I'm not saying it's impossible to win, but like clearly we're not a favorite this game anymore. We wasn't a favorite when we saw the turn 1 land. He knows we have a seal away, so I don't think he'll attack. Oh, could just be Grixis. Again, doesn't matter, all the Watery Grave decks have to be a favorite. It's kind of weird that they didn't use this to guarantee that they did a land. Three, six, seven, eight. Guess we do this during their turn. Very likely he gets counterspelled, but at least they can't flip Bolus if they counterspell it. I could have fought with fire and kicked the explosion to try to kill this, and then had like 2 ways, but I don't think we're losing a game that we throw away all our resources anyway. Well, looks like we should have. There's not enough things in my graveyard for this, is there? just friends? What's that mean? Guess I have to keep this one. Hold my land in my hand because in case they play another Nicobolus or disinformation campaign. Sure. Well, I guess I should play this second. I should just tick this up first and see what we have. Oh, at a coffee shop. That's sweet. So you're back home? Or is it friends around where you live? Kind of want to get rid of this because they can go ahead and flip this if they draw land, and that would suck. Guess I'm going to target that one then. Oh, that's cool. Cool. What made you decide not to do the Friday Night Magic thing? So they know they're drawing Nicobolus this turn. How long you in Iowa before you have to get back out on the road? Kinda hoping that they don't have Syncopate plus the Nicobolus. Wonder what they're trying to kill. It's kind of weird that they surveilled and then shuffled away the card that they left. Let's start with this. Yeah. Harks are expensive things, that's for sure. Well, that's kind of interesting. So we can throw this away now to get rid of that. Or we can just tick this up. Is this instant speed? I think we're just going to tick this up. Oh, you've not picked a new assignment yet? Any places in particular you're looking at? They didn't have a counterspell last turn, so I'm just assuming they don't have one this turn either. Eldest Reborn. Huh. Is Rouse Zarek better than the Teferi in this spot? God, I can't imagine why anybody'd ever want to go to Hazard. I think I'm going to sack the Teferi. The card selection from Rouse Zarek seems better than just drawing a card. I messed up. I shouldn't have played that land. We already had one Teferi in our graveyard. If I didn't have a Teferi in my graveyard, I would have probably did that the other way. But with the Teferi in my graveyard, because I think Row's less threatening for them to get than the Teferi, whereas the Teferi can, get back their Nicobolus or get back their Doom Whisperer, or get back their Row, or just do whatever at this point, or get rid of my Row. But I already had one Teferi in my graveyard. Reno, Nevada. That sounds fun. That's where I would go. But then again, I'm kind of a gambling aholic, or I need to go to Gambling Anonymous. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm an obsessive gambler. Maybe that's how it's phrased. Wonder if they just have more syncopates in their deck. I'm choosing to do it in this manner because I want them to invest the 7 mana. Alright, well. Four. And then. Problem with this is. I think this is fine. They can't syncopate here. The primary reason I'm choosing to do it in that manner. This is the card they're most likely to take, so I might as well just go ahead and use it. If they have a syncopate, they get a settled wreckage or whatever. I'm not too concerned about that. Getting pretty close to this Rao ultimate now, and we have one Ionize to try to protect it. Yeah, today's spoilers were... They feel to me like they're weaker in power level than the cards that we had access to, but all of the mechanics and stuff all seemed extraordinarily cool. That is an interesting card. I think I have to let it resolve. Because I think I need to keep this ionized to protect this Rao. There's one negate in our main deck. Or maybe that's a different build. I'm not sure. Where are you? Conjecture? Give me a counterspell, please. Should be able to protect our Rao now. And should be able to ultimate our Rao. I especially like the black mythic. The creature with spectacle or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, they can draw cards. Just gonna keep up the 2 counter spells. We just need to protect this. I don't want them to see my hand. Are they tapped out? We're going to be untapping 2 lands though, right? Alright, they've hit F6. I guess we're getting our fight with fire back. Ultimate this before we can't. And finish them off. What is this one? I'm bad at names. Oh, that one's cool too. The one that gives death touch to everything? That thing's sweet. The one I was talking about was Spawn of Mayhem. I think Spawn of Mayhem's really sweet. What about Dual Shot? You can kill 2 things for 1 mana. Forked Bolt. So I guess we sideboard similarly to how we would sideboard versus a mirror. It's a match that I would not mind to have our friend the Lava Coil versus. Think we want this. Think we want these, though I don't know about these with the Nicobolus build. Definitely want Binding. Definitely want Negate. Actually, might not want these on the draw. Might try to bring these on a play to gimp them, but I don't know about the draw. We didn't see Disinformation Campaign, but I imagine we can assume they have Disinformation Campaign. And if they have Disinformation Campaign, we might want these. We did see Search for Azcanta. Cards that I know we can get rid of are those. Maybe we don't War Boss Game 2. Maybe we just War Boss Game 3. Can definitely shave on one of these, if not all of these. Kinda don't want any of these. What else would I take out to get the 2 War Bosses in? So I can take out the Opt. Kind of makes me want this Spell Pierce too, though, and I'm already 1 card away from being able to sideboard them in. I think I want to leave the Sillaways. They had a lot of things that can attack, and Thief of Sanity is a thing. What would I bring in for the Spell Pierce? Just not sure that Spell Pierce is that good on the play. Or on the draw, rather. I might not should have brought the 4 Legion War Bosses and the Spell Pierce in on the draw. Might have just been better as like an Opt to Syncopate and three cards basically at random. That's the problem. I don't know what other 3 cards I would want. Don't you untap this. Boo, they untapped it. Boo. Well, take my Row. Do not take my Explosion, please. Put this in my graveyard. They're very likely to take either the Ionize or the Expansion, depending upon their hand. Boo, that's the only one I didn't want them to take. Seem to have a stuffed nose again tonight. Well, anything they play, I would be willing to ionize. They have a colorless land in their 3-color deck? I'm willing to counterspell that. Yeah, that's the main reason I was wanting them not to use it. I wanted to be able to copy another one of these. That's not the land that I've always wanted. Alright. Let's see if we can still win. But they left Moment of Craving in. Wow. Gotta be honest, that wasn't even on my radar of being in their 70 or in their deck right now. Also, would have never cast that card if I hadn't drawn Ixalan's Binding to go with it. It's kind of weird if they're going to use this Field of Ruin here. Like, I certainly have islands. I'm amazed that they sided that in. A weird one to syncopate too. Alright, well, we'll draw a land sooner or later. Yeah, that was a pretty fun deck. I think it's pretty decent too. I don't really care if they keep getting rid of syncopates. I have nothing to play. I guess this one. Our opponent can't hit a land to save their life. It's almost Planeswalker a clock. Which one of my Planeswalkers is the least useful? I think it's you. Don't care if they counterspell this. I probably would not use a negate to protect it. It's too easy for them to have a double spell. Okay, you got it. That's why I led with the worst one. I'm willing to try to kill that. I wouldn't have imagined that was a good enough card to protect. So draw our card first. Another one of those. Well, we don't have another Spell Pierce, so goodbye to Fairy. Hey, Tandy, thanks for the host, my fam. I noticed today. It told me in chat today. Ooh. Useful cards. Did I play around Spell Pierce? Guess if I was going to play around Spell Pierce, I already should have. We won the first game, which is always a good feeling. And our opponent missed a lot of land drops this game. I think it's a little too early to tell. Like, this card's super powerful. I think that card's powerful enough that I almost just want to tuck it. I'm not going to, though. I assume this is just going to die, because he apparently left answers in for these. I'm pretty excited that he counterspelled that. I'm less excited that I still have 4 lands in my hand. You say it don't matter, but we can certainly lose the game to this card still. And we know he plays counterspells. Like, the game could potentially just be over right now. All depends on what he hits. I don't care about that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep going up, I guess. All 21 of our lands so far? $22? Well, now we have problems. Feel like I have to tuck this one. It's probably the last land I'm playing this game. Because of things like Nicobolus and Disinformation Campaign. Hey. Aw, boo, that was his chemistry insight, not ours. He still has one of our cards at random. Well, not at random, I mean, he got to pick it, but... Pretty sure I should have tucked this several turns ago. It's one of our Fight with Fires. Not good. He's getting a card every turn. Now he has 2 cards, for example. Really hope they play the disinformation campaign. Gives us a chance to draw Fight with Fire. We're down to 11 cards. He currently has 5 in his hand with a Chemist's Insight on his graveyard. So he can draw his Nicobolus back this turn if he wants. Yeah, I think I have to double tuck. It's going to be hard to win this game. I think I have to sideboard out the Legion's land or Legion's War Bosses for game 3 if he's going to leave in things like Moment of Weakness. This is unfortunate. It looks like he has an explosion. So we have 1 Fight with Fire, 1 explosion, and this Mirari's Conjecture left in our deck. These are our ways to win. I definitely am taking this one. I don't know how many cards I'm drawing, though. Oh, apparently I should at least tap the blue mana. Feels like I tapped a lot more than 6 mana. Blue, red, red, blue. No. Apparently I had not tapped more than 6 mana. Ah, fuck it. What can go wrong? All I can do is mill myself, right? Take care, man. Enjoy your sleep and your stream tomorrow. Yeah, well, goodbye, land. If they don't have a counterspell, that would be wonderful. Or if we draw a counterspell. We did not draw a counterspell. Oh well. I don't think I have an option. Maybe I'll just kill these. It still has 1 random card from us. One, two. They've played 3 Sinister Sabotages, 2 Syncopates, and a Negate. Okay. Just need to revitalize to not be dead. I was holding control. What? I held control. What the fuck? What the shit? I just got cheated. kind of tilted about that. I was certainly holding control. You know I was holding control because the mana was floating into my pool. And we see the other fight with fire right here, so we know they hit a counterspell. So basically, this explosion in my hand is the last way I have to win the game. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Explosion you twice. With counterspell back up. I get a copy of it anyway, right? Pretty sure they need 2 more counterspells to stop this. Or like 1 counterspell, 1 revitalize. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. They have double counterspell. I'm actually really salty. Super salty about this game. They had the counterspell anyway, though. They had 3 counterspells, so it didn't affect anything. I am super salty about that, though. It was ridiculous, because the way the mana was going in my pool proves I was holding control. I don't know what to cut for this. I want this card. I just don't know what's good. I'm going to take another Silhouette away, I think. Yeah, we'll get rid of 1 Revitalize. I have 6 minutes left, James. I don't think I have the ability to do that now. If I got to play a full game, I probably would. Losing that game was ridiculous. I don't know what I did wrong. It's clear it had to be a play mistake, but I don't know what it was. And this hand's just not operational. Because one of the problems with these Jeskai decks like this is, without the ops, without the search for Ascanthus, etc., 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 it's too easy to miss land drops early in the game and you just lose. It's just way too easy to just miss an early land drop of this versions of the decks. And that's a major, major flaw. We did only see one bad removal spell too, and that was a fairly long game. He did take the time to use a Sinister Sabotage on the other one. GG. Whatever you want. I don't want you to counterspell this. I'll tuck this if it resolves. He's shocked. That's really bad for us. Hopefully it was just syncopate and not negate. So I don't need this anymore. There's a good chance he can kill this now. Ooh. Didn't want to see that. It's the Nicobolus again. Like, we know what it is. I still didn't want to see it. I guess it could be worse. He could have played something else. I hope I draw a land here. He's down to one card. I think if he's got a counterspell, he'd probably counterspell this. When you have so little time on the clock, you can't make perfect decisions. You just gotta press buttons and rock. Can we survive 5 turns from here? Probably not, because he's got Nicobolus in play. Him untapping of Nicobolus probably means the game's over. Oh, that duress was perfect. Perfect, I say. Yes, I paid 9. What am I going to do with this? We're too far behind to win now, I think. I think we have to basically draw exactly to fairy next turn, and we've already gone through 3. Where were these contempts at the other 2 games? I didn't even know he's playing cards like this. This is the type of game a Niv Mizzet would have shined in. Both of these games were. Attack for 4, flip Nicobolus. Tuck. Or get to fairy, tuck. Something? That card wasn't useful. And so that's going to be 2 cards a turn. Doesn't really do anything to attack it. We'll go ahead and attack it though, just so he can't get back to fairy if he wants. Certainly not beating 2 cards a turn though. I don't really think we have any good draws left, really. They have a beacon bolt in their deck too? That's weird. These Legion War bosses were very bad. Us drawing 3 more lands than our opponent was pretty bad too. I mean, we drew 17 lands in our top half. Alright, well, we're dead. Oh, I just don't think I can win. I'm not a good player, and I personally just don't feel like I'm a good enough player to win this type of match. Them having duresses and thought erasures just seem like too much for me to beat. Still tilted about game 2. I'm positive I was holding control. I'm positive it wouldn't have mattered, but like I'm still frustrated over the fact that the program didn't work. Yeah, that's fair, but I don't know. Am I supposed to just not bring them in? It doesn't feel like I have 60 good cards if I don't bring them in. Another blue deck? This deck really needs Search for Ascanthus. I think that's something I say every time I play it. I just feel like I lose when I don't have Search for Ascanthus in these type of decks. I only had 6 minutes for the full game 3. I didn't think I'd be able to win with Lyras and stuff. He's also playing a Eldest Reborn deck, like is bringing in a 5-mana do nothing good versus Eldest Reborns. I don't know why I pressed F6. I'm glad that our opponent let me get out of that. Well, I only cut one, but I agree. I probably shouldn't have cut it at all. I cut the op too. I probably shouldn't have cut the opt either. It's kind of weird that our opponent shocked before he used the crash through. You think they'd crash through first? I know they have the Arclight Phoenix, but just seems like there's no downside to casting Crash Through before they shock. They could hit a Sulfur Fall or something. Hey, Tacos. Going great, my man. Going great. Hope everything's going well for you. I wonder if it was wrong not to play Teferi that turn. There's no Essence Scatters or anything in the deck, so it doesn't feel like there's a reason to use the Revitalize. I want lands, I want lands, I want lands. I think I want lands more than I want Planeswalkers. JK, I didn't want lands. Well, that was bad. That was very bad. I guess I could have just held up Saddle. Did I have another spell? This Phoenix has been in the graveyard longer than any Phoenix I've ever saw in the history of graveyards. I'm just going to take the hit. I do like the fact that I can settle with Explosion if they did have a counterspell, which I don't think they do, but I think that ability is kind of sweet. Discarded a land and then kept one. God, this is a heck of an attack. They can't sideboard out their burn in this match. That confuses me. Like, they're not going to sideboard out their burn, they need it. Did I not play opted end of turn? I didn't play opted end of turn. Because this maximized velocity, I decided just to hold up Syncopate. Or like hold up Chemistry Insights and Opson or Explosion or whatever. You like War Boss versus Drakes. It's another match that I wouldn't have minded our lava coils that we don't have. Also wouldn't mind the, what do you call it? The silhouette that the French list had. Definitely want these 3 cards. Probably want this card. I think that's all I really want. This card could be useful maybe, but I don't think I want it. Definitely don't want those. Kinda don't want this. These 2 cards seem medium. I don't really have anything on my sideboard that seems much better, though. I'll bring in Invoke the Divine in case they have Search or Treasure Map or something, but I feel like it's going to get stranded into my hand a fair amount. I guess with Chemist's Insights that can jumpstart it getting stranded in my hand's not the end of the world. Yeah, I brought the War Bosses in game 2 and he left Moments of Craving in game 2. Which, made me not really want the War Bosses. I didn't really want the War Bosses to begin with, I don't think, but I didn't know what to sideboard. I still don't know what to sideboard. The Negate, the Invokes, and the Justice Strike and the Binding were the only cards I really wanted. And I definitely wanted to get rid of the Clarions. And one Settle. Maybe that's all I should have did. That's probably what I should have did. I definitely felt like I punted game 2. I felt like I was really, really far ahead game 2, and then we lost. You will be absorbed soon. Is it bad that I want to counterspell that? I don't think I will, but I really wanted to. Second Arclight Phoenix. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. They shocked. That means they're going to play a negate, right? No negate. We'll save the binding. Not really watched it. Apparently I shouldn't have saved the binding. Ooh, my favorite card for the match. I was wanting to save the binding for a Niv Mizzet. Okay, you got me. I don't want to take any damage because of maximized velocity. This is 4 Drakes if this resolves. Their opponent's running very poorly on getting Phoenixes back. Somebody told me I need to try the US office. I just haven't ever. I didn't really like it. Or I didn't like the EU version, so I never tried the US version. I assume this isn't going to resolve. Feels like a waste to hold it. He has to have Spell Pierce or something. Negate, Spell Pierce, I don't know. Disdainful Stroke? Sure. Like how I didn't even think about using this Settled Wreckage there. Or Ionize there like an idiot. Oh, I played that so bad. I really needed to Ionize that. Why didn't I Ionize that? That was a pretty large punt. If I don't ionize that, does that force me to ionize card draw spells now? Hey, that's a card I like. Is Michael the one that's played by Steve Carell or whatever? Right, our opponent apparently drew super bad. Look how long he's had two Phoenixes in his graveyard. Currently sliding out of my chair because it is broke, but my new one shows up tomorrow. Warranties rock. Oh, thank you, Netflix. What have you suggested I watch tonight? A Marlon Wayans comedy special. Gonna hard pass. Death Race and Fast and the Furious. What did I watch to get those two things suggested to me? Apparently I like things with cars. It also suggested me a nice little rom-com with Jennifer Lopez that I'm going to add to my list because I actually watch it. Saw it before though. Still added to the list. God, really? Is that movie 13 years old now? Christ, I'm getting old. I'm gonna die soon or something. I've got to be like 90. Being 90 isn't fun. So, does anybody in the chat right now know much about TVs? I still haven't got mine fixed because my area sucks. To be honest, I don't know much about them when I read them. or read about them. That's fair. Most people that I ask tell me just to use my computer monitor and watch whatever Netflix or ball game or whatever I want to watch on my computer. But the way my home and my room especially are both situated, like the couch that I want to watch stuff from is really far away from my computer. And I like to relax with my feet up and stuff like that when I watch my ball games or when I watch my Netflix. Like, I don't really want to watch TV over here in this computer chair. I like to fall asleep watching TV, basically, so I like to fall asleep in the old couch. I don't like turn on Fox and watch Fox or whatever, or Spike or whatever random television show they are. Like, I use it only for Netflix, Hulu. Well, I guess that's a lie. Sometimes I'll watch a ball game on it. Most of the ball games I watch are on my computer now at this point. Between NBA TV and all the games being on like ESPN and Fox Sports and stuff like that, like, I can just watch all the games on the computer. Guild Gatorini. I just don't want to. I want to go to my nice little couch and relax. Guildgate. Guildgate makes me feel like I'm playing Arena. I've never really read anything about Roku. I assume it's the same thing as the Apple TV, but I'm not really sure. I know my Samsung already had all the apps on it. Well, I downloaded them, but it took like 2 seconds. But my Samsung did not last very long, and it frustrated me. So he kept that. Really like to have a land. Alright, well, I have a land, so I guess I'm just going to take the damage so I can cast Chemister's Insight. People tell me this match is favorable, but I rarely win it from the Jeskai side, and I rarely lose it from the black-green side. But I'm assuming that's what Roku is, without ever actually seeing one. I didn't get to watch much of it, George. I watched him do like one draft, but I didn't watch him play the games. He passed a Artful Takedown for a Commandeer in Pack 1, and then Pack 2 there was a Boros Guild Mage versus a Beacon Boat. We talked about those, and then I just realized I don't really understand Best of 1, and just let him do what he wanted to do. I don't have a counter spell. Lands? That's not lands. Just want to scratch my head now because I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. I really want to cast this Deafening Clarion, but letting him draw 4 cards seems insane to me. Is it insane just to let him draw 4 cards? But yeah, I just don't understand Best of 1 draft. For example, like, I've been told that in Best of 1, being aggressive was the correct strategy, and like Boros and stuff was the strongest deck. And to like stay away from things like Dimir and Izzet. But I don't know how true that is. You think I should just throw the Teferi away, give him an opportunity to potentially cast... So just throw the Teferi away is James' suggestion. Throwing the Teferi away doesn't feel very good. Like me, for example, like I think like Boros is probably the best overall draft archetype, and this is with very limited knowledge. But like, I'm not sure that a beacon boat isn't like I rate a beacon boat higher than I do a Boros Guild Mage. But maybe that's wrong, and maybe that's especially wrong if you took a Pack 1 Commandeer. But there wasn't really any good Celestia cards or any good white cards in Pack 2, which is the main reason I wanted to stick away from the Guild Gate in general. I don't think I want to settle either. Just giving them 4 lands seems horrendous. I was thinking about just casting Deafening Clarion and biting the bullet, but if I cast the Deafening Clarion and just bite the bullet, then if, say, they untap and have a land and play a Carnage Tyrant, it's a lot harder for me to deal with. They also tucked this Vivian, which kind of makes me... And we know they have a Vraska's Contempt, so like maybe the Teferi's not that great, but I feel like maybe I need an answer for another Vivian. Because they had 5 mana, and then they discarded a Vivian. So that just means they're going to have a Vivian, right? I think I'm just going to cast the Deafening Clarion. And let him have his cards. Kind of hope that they waste their next turn to play another Vivian or whatever that I can tuck. Them with 14 life, we only have to last till turn 9 or whatever. Well, I mean, they're going to have like Wild Growth Walkers and additional other threats, but just saying in general. If I played Teferi and just tick it up, feels like something that's pretty easy for him to deal with. I'm willing to throw it away at this point. The big difference between casting it this turn and casting it on a later turn is, one, we know he has the expansion already that he might play here, but B, if he does anything, it stops him from playing Carnage Tyrant a turn. It uses a lot of his mana too. Or a lot of their mana. Sorry, I need to stop saying things like that. So we're at 7 now. 7 mana, rather. I'm just going to take that. No, 1 card in their hand. So did I get to 11 for this to win? So 4 more turns and hitting lands is required. That's not lands. Almost. That's still not lands. And we're dead, fam. Man. All I want is some lands. Is it too much to ask for some lands? I have a good hand, though. Could certainly get there. This isn't in very many main decks anymore. Wah wah. That's not a land. Can I win if I just cast this and tuck this? Or is it better to Chemist's Insight and gamble? Really want to cast the Chemist's Insight. If I cast the Insight and miss, the game is over. I can hit any land. Deafening Clarion and Revitalize. So there's 26 lands in this build. We have 19 lands, 3 Clarions. Sorry, the Revitalize doesn't do anything. 19 lands and 3 Clarions. So we have 22 draw steps that get us another, or 22 hits in 37 cards that gives us another turn. I think that's high enough for me. It just feels so weird to make a play that could potentially cost me the game, though. Take roughly an 85% chance, 80 to 85% chance, or just play the Teferi and tuck. Or I could just hope, I could play the Teferi, tick up, and play Settle the Wreckage too. I think that's just a safer play. I'm not trying to talk myself into taking a risk, but I don't think I have to take a risk. Teferi gets us 1 card. which is still like a 60-ish%, 55 to 60% chance to hit the land, I guess. Because, like, it's just land. Well, sorry. It's just land now. So it's like 50%. Because the Clarions don't matter anymore. But either way, we still have settled wreckage up. I think having settled wreckage up is what throws us over. If they main phase, like, try to contempt at the ferry or whatever, we can contempt back to Veraska with these. I probably fought way too hard on that turn, but I was trying to talk myself into going for the insight. Because I'm not worried about, like, surviving the next couple turns. I'm worried about surviving to getting 11 mana at this point. Because, like, that's a minimum of 4 more turns, and that's if we hit a land every single turn. And that's pretty hard if they do this. I think this is just a safer play, while still having a reasonable amount of upside. Ching, doo, 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 doo. I was definitely trying to talk myself into doing the other play. I'm pretty sure this was just the easy correct play the entire time, and I was just wasted like 4 minutes of my clock or something for no reason. Vivian's solid too. If they don't have another creature this turn, though, we can, like, tuck the Veraska, play the Rao, kill the pirate. And then all of our stuff's protected. Well, they have a creature that we know about. So that ruins that. If we draw a land, we could still do it all. Without worry. Alright, so with a land, we can kill this, tuck this, kill this. We're still playing. None of our stuff's in danger of dying that way. It's the MTGO skin. It's the best arena skin. Hulk Smash. Yes, you get a card. So all of our things are alive, and unless he has an Assassin's Trophy or a Contempt, which I think he would have played last turn, they all stay alive. Alright. Next order on the docket to worry about is the Vivian, but we can stop it from ultimating with an explosion. Even if we just have to explosion for like 1 or whatever. So now we have to find 3 lands in 3 turns. Drawing up to 4 cards a turn currently. I think this game's looking good now. Still have a Memorial to Folly and a Vivian, but like we still have a Settle to Wreckage. And they don't have a lot of turns. He didn't attack. Is he really going to use all, or are they really going to use all that mana? They have 13 mana. Like a Doom Whisperer and a Midnight Reaper. Sure. Seems to me like you might have wanted the Vivian before doing all of that. Maybe you would have just drawn a Doom Whisperer and not care. They chose to keep this. Start with this. And go to this. I think opponent can still very easily win. Should have cast Revitalize before I played the land. Opponent has a Doom Whisperer. I think they can still very easily win. They're going to get a Wild Growth Walker here, which is going to let their life go above 20. Presumably, anyway. They're at really close to Vivian ultimating. I like how they left a Wild Growth Walker on top. Then they don't think they used the Vivian, and then they surveilled it away. So I don't quite understand that play. They might have used the Vivian and I just not noticed. Guess it's easy to find out. No, they didn't use the Vivian, I don't think. They might have been just trying to make sure they could draw the Relic Seeker again, because if they use the Vivian, the Relic Seeker's gone the rest of the game. Which is a reasonable thing. I'll just survive 2 more turns as of right now. I don't really care if they draw a bunch of cards. In theory, their cards don't matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So theoretically, we can untap and win. Go ahead and get that out of the way. These games get a lot harder when they have 4 duresses post-board. If you noticed, we've only saw 1 more card than them this entire game. They've saw more cards than us if you include the tucking. Alright, holding control. Got it pressed as hard as I can. Can't hold this button any harder. Didn't let go that time. We did it, fam. We held the button as hard as we could for as long as we could. I finally beat somebody with the combo. So versus Golgari. Definitely want you. Definitely want you. Definitely want you. Definitely want you. I can see arguments for the Justice Strike. I typically don't like counterspells in this match that aren't negates. Also, typically don't like the Mirari's Conjecture in this match because, like, they often have Brontodon, and they often, or we've already saw Contempt and we've already saw Vivian. But Mirari's Conjecture may be needed. Let's try this. One of the things that I don't like about this match is, like, the Golgari builds that at least I respect go up to like 3 or 4 Duresses. They have like 3 Carnage Tyrants, and they have Plague Crafters and Eldest Reborns. So it's really hard for you to get any value out of your Planeswalkers. And if you get no value other than like 1 activation, and they have Assassin's Trophies and Contempts. So like if your Planeswalkers basically come down and get just 1 activation, I don't feel like it's that easy for you to get to these late turns. But more importantly, another thing that I find very hard about this match is just being able to get to 11 mana and 20 of them often isn't good enough, because of Wildgrowth Walker, it feels like you often need to 30 them and sometimes 40 them. And without any way to do a consistent amount of damage, I find that just really, really hard. It's easy to not, like, quote-unquote, die to them. You know, like, not get gimped out, not get Carnage Tyrant down, but, like, they grind, the black-green decks grind like nobody's business. To quote Sean, who would be quoting a Saturday Night Live skit, the black-green's just really good at grinding your bones into dust. They're, like, exceptionally good at that. Neat. The people that lose with black-green are typically the people that like try to flood the board and get completely blown out by Settled Wreckages or like a Deafening Clarion or like a couple of Starve Extinctions. The people that win with black-green are the people that take it slow and calm and are trying to go to turn 25 or 30 versus the Jeskai decks and not just trying to beat them. In my opinion. but what does my opinion matter? Even letting him draw 2 cards here feels bad, right? Because like he's got 6 cards, we don't know how good any of them are, and we have 1 medium card and no other good cards. Oh, Sean's actually watching. I didn't know. I like it when I quote Sean, who's quoting TV. No, they're going to keep their duress, and then we have no good spells. And by no good spells, I mean we have no spells. Oh, that was a play mistake. Play mistake, play mistake, play mistake. He's going to cast a duress before he attacks. But still play mistake. Cool thing is we can... Oh, wow. JK. Wow, I am a trash bag. Trash bag of a human. I could have paid the 2 life here. Alright, I think this is better than just using the duress. This was a play mistake though, because I should have been able to duress. I should have just paid the 2 life. The reason I didn't pay the 2 life is I expected them to duress pre-combat. And then my 2 life would have been wasted. Oh, that was a cute draw. Alright, well I need spells, so I'm going to take this up and hope that they don't kill it. That's not a spell. Could have tucked the J-Light Ranger, but I'm not too worried about 2 damage, and I assume my Teferi's going to die, so I figured I needed some kind of other spell other than just like delaying their 2/2 a turn or whatever. Yeah, that's why I said I made a play mistake. I definitely should have played an untapped land. We'd have got to punish them pretty hard if we got the untapped land. Who knows? Maybe they didn't. Maybe they wouldn't have had another card. Yeah, that was 100% a play mistake, and it wasn't. It wasn't even because I don't know any better. It was just because I wasn't paying attention. Like I'm familiar with all of the arts. We're playing the old versions of the cards, so like I get the new Steam Vent and the new Super Vols confused every now and then because I think they look very similar. But we're playing all the old versions here, and I know what all of these cards do. At least the star is a good draw. That's kind of odd to me. Like last turn I would have ticked down so we'd at least had a threat in play if we'd have got rid of this. Like if I'd drawn it to Teferi and tucked this, they would have been able to kill it with the attack back. But this turn I would have certainly ticked up. So that's just super odd to me. Maybe they're worried about the Starve extinction now? Black-green player still has 5 cards in their hand. I don't know if he's loose. Like, I could very well be wrong. I'm just saying what I would have did. Ooh, that card's neat. Go ahead and kill that. So I could have lost track at some point, but I think they still had 3 cards in their hand, or 2 lands in their hand. I may have lost track on this forest, though. Boom. So one of the reasons I went ahead and ticked down on this row. So you're going to play the Doom and this. Okay, well. Yeah, the green-black is certainly looking impressive here. And I think we've drawn very well. I need to draw to Fairy to tuck that, and I need to draw other things at this point as well. So we have to worry about this, we have to worry about this ultimating, and we have to worry about just the fact that we're at 8 life. A lot of things going on right now. He's doing all this, by the way, and we've not saw a Carnage Tyrant. Keep that in mind. Like, he's not even played a Carnage Tyrant yet. That's one of the reasons that we didn't bring the binding in. One of the reasons that the conjecture's out. None of my cards seem to matter now. And we're dead. Also messed up and shouldn't have tapped my white mana. Maybe they'll make a mistake and play around Settled Wreckage. Even if they do, I don't think it matters. Because I think they ultimate the Vivian either way. If they ultimate the Vivian either way, we'd have to draw a Settle the following turn. The problem is, I think they're going to ultimate the Vivian either way, and the other 2 creatures still kill it. So not only do they have to play around Sillaway or Settled Wreckage, and they have to not ultimate Vivian, basically. Chance that he doesn't sack this just thinking about the next turn. Don't know why he didn't ultimate this pre-combat. Alright, well, I'm dead either way then. F6 is pressed, waiting to die. And we're dead. Anything I changed from the play to the draw? Still don't think Dionysus are particularly good. Just don't think any of this stuff is particularly good. Maybe Dionysus are okay. Might be better than Opt. I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty happy with the 75 or the 60 that I have here. This hand's pretty good. Could have lost that game with the Expanse play. Like, imagine if we'd got the Vivian Reed out of his hand or whatever. Like, there's a real chance we could have won that game. They mulliganed and put on bottom. But that happens. Can't beat myself up about it. Just have to hope they don't have a duress on one. They had a duress on one. Just feels like you're always on the back foot, right? Like, do you want to spend your 3 mana spell to like counterspell their Merfolk Branchwalker or whatever, and then you're tapping out to play your Clarions and stuff like that? It's just feels like it's hard to deal with a board, deal with discard spells, and then have your counter spells for the turns they tap out. And I brought in negates for the Planeswalkers still. Like, I am still worried about the Planeswalkers. I guess I should technically let him explore first. So I do still have some counter spells. That feels good. What if I'm supposed to opt main phase? And not bother bluffing anything if I miss? I don't really like to time people out. It's got a 4-turn clock in play. We'll take a small pause here just to make him think that I'm thinking about using a settle. The bluffing is the best. Vivian. They got rid of their Vivian. Anytime people are putting cards like Vivian and Eldest Reborn in their graveyard, means they're mana screwed or their hand is spectacular. If they attack this, it lets me save life. It's like basically just trying to fade a duress here. Assume they'll attack it with everything. Well, I guess I'm supposed to try to save it then. Choosing the Branchwalker over the Jade Light Ranger in case they kill the Silhouette later. They're both the same power and toughness on this board. Could have a Naturalized or a Crushing Canopy or something, and then they get the Teferi. That'd be a sweet play for them. They do. They have an Assassin's Trophy. It's not quite the same thing, though, because we have a Star of Extinction, but... which they know we have. But they do get to kill the Teferi, which is important. I'm going to go ahead and cast this, not necessarily because I think it's a board that I care about, but because I'm worried about them casting Duress and us not being able to cast it later. That's the primary motivation for me casting that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we drew Justice Strike. Never mind. We'll cast the Justice Strike first, so that way they surveil. I mean, Assassin's Trophy is the same thing in that situation. Kind of. I just wasn't per se thinking about it because I personally don't run, or I sideboard them out, but I know most people don't sideboard them out, so it's something that I should have been thinking about. How many lands do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a Carnage. Carnages are bangers. I'll go ahead and take that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to win this game. I don't like every decision our opponents made, but I can't see their hands, so... Well, I especially just didn't like the turn where they killed our Teferi in general. They knew we had the Star of Extinction, so using that Assassin's Trophy didn't feel like they were doing anything but killing the Teferi. And they could have killed the Teferi just by attacking it with all 3. They didn't have to... They didn't have to do what they did. That's a great draw. We'll go ahead and pass here and see if they're going to attack the Rao or attack us. And then we'll make decisions on what we're going to do. Alright. Makes sense that they would attack us. Or attack it, rather. I think I can do this one too. Well, there's no reason. I tapped one too many white mana like a idiot, so to speak. Nothing I can do about that. Explosion? I think we win if we get an explosion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we win if we get an explosion. Even if we don't, we get to untap one more turn, right? Oh, Cleansing Nova, baby! Come help us win this game, Cleansing Nova. Oh god, you feel so good. Our opponent with 55 seconds left is probably scooping. Yep, there is the scoop. Where was our explosion? No! Right here we go. 14 cards left in the deck would have been all 3 of our explosions. Oh no, we'd already drawn one, sorry. I'd forgot we'd already drawn one. That was a pretty good game, but we were really far ahead at that point. Alright, we just gotta win one out of the next two to put a chest in our pocket. This deck's pretty fun. I told Sean I'd play it at Friday Night Magic tomorrow if I 5-0'd, so I'm pretty happy that we didn't 5-0 because now I don't have to leave my house. And not leaving my house is the real win. I was trying to get Rob to loan me a black-green deck because Christian still has mine. But I was far too... or Rob didn't want to commit to come. That Mox Pearl you guys linked into chat is gorgeous. Ben so time walk for a buck. Mono islands from our opponents today. Oh God, no! This is a horrible match. No. This match is horrendous. And we're even missing some lava coils. Wah, 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 wah. We are dead. We are dead. At least we have quite a few of these things. We get to cast one a turn and pray. Wonder if I should just settle the wreckage on this one. I think I'm going to go with the settle the wreckage because next turn if we draw land we can play double spell. And this is a better way to get like a trickster or something. I say better way, but it's technically no way. Well, I take that back. Still a way. There's the Pierce. Horrendous match is horrendous. Unfortunate. Missed our land, so we can't play around a Pierce or cast our second spell. Oh no. Was the Big Daddy about to approach? Wah wah. Please? Alright, well that's still a 2-turn clock if they draw a land over the next 2 turns. Maybe they don't have a counterspell. Go, Teferi, you can do it. Save us, Teferi. Teferi, save us. Also a lot of mana. Was this a blink? I didn't know these decks played blink anymore. So what's good in this match? You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're okay. What's bad? You're super bad. You guys aren't good. Truly think these settled wreckage and stuff are bad too, but I think I'm going to leave them in. Mostly because we don't have anything to take out. So another match that like a bunch of lava coils would be good in. I don't think I'm feeling Spell Pierce. Like, Spell Pierce is good if you draw it in your opening hand, but like, you saw that game, for example. Like, he got up to 6 mana. I've looked at a few of them, Murph. I don't think you're very good. I have so many counter spells. A 5 mana Raft can't be good, can it? I don't feel like a 5 mana Raft can be good. Like, I don't really even want my 4 mana ones. So why am I thinking about bringing in a 5 mana one? I think Dovin's going to be better than people expect, though. I don't think it's great. I actually do think it's good, though. Like, it's certainly not Teferi, but I think it's good. 3 mana planeswalkers that can protect themselves have a place. I guess hard for me to imagine a 3 mana planeswalker that can protect itself isn't at least playable. Sure he can. You take him down, you get a Fopter. And some life. That felt really aggressive. I want my land. Please? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'll rephrase what I said then, Murph. A 3-mana planeswalker that can protect itself with a good ultimate can't be bad. The thing that holds Jace from being decent is the ultimate. But like, you can ultimate Dovin Bond and win a game based off the ultimate. I think, anyway. I think that's the difference in the two. I wonder if I should have expansed that. That's fair, it ain't. But we're not talking about, $40 planeswalkers here. We're not talking about great planeswalkers. We're talking about, I said it's good. I didn't say it was great. There's a difference. Like, Teferi is a great planeswalker. Chandra is a great planeswalker. Rao is a very good planeswalker. So I think they are a difference. I never said it was a great planeswalker. I said it was a good planeswalker. Or that I thought it was a good planeswalker. Is there Gideon in Standard? I think he's not. I tap my mana stupidly, by the way. I think he's about the same power level as Gideon. If we're talking about the Gideon that rotated. Or like at least in the ballpark. Maybe not exactly the same, but like around there. Definitely should have tapped my mana differently. I should be casting Silhouette at the end of this turn. Speaking of Jace, I think they are of a very similar power level. But what do I know? Our opponent played a Jace. It was good this game. Neither of them are dealing damage to me then, right? Still think it's right to try to get rid of this. I'm choosing that one so he can't dive down it. That's a good card. I really like settled wreckage plus explosions. Feels like he needs a lot of things to go right now. So they can't spell pierce here, but they still can negate. I miss utility lands. I miss creature lands too. This kind of sucks because he could just have a trickster, but they F6, so I'm gonna take the risk. Oh God, no, not another one. It entertains me, by the way, that we were literally just talking about this Jace, and it's working me. Our opponent had a very bad hand this game. That was great for us. No trickster seems good for me. Another Jace. Stop the madness. Too much madness. It's the Jace that I tucked a while ago. I realize that. I'm just trying to be playful and talkative when I stream. Gotta entertain the Murphs of the world. Well, now that I've saw the Jace, maybe I want to spell pierce a little bit more. Why? The hell do I cut for the opt? We'll cut one of them. This hand's not great, but it's not a mulligan either. Just gets buried if they can protect the queen. This build of the deck has the lava coils cut, so. Alright, well, we have something to play on turn 3, turn 4, and turn 5 now. Will it be good enough? Only time will tell. Ooh. A spell pierce could be nice. Wow, they blinked a trickster. Their hand must be super medium. Oh god, it's so beautiful. Spell pierce. How much I love you, Spell pierce. We can get a dot, or we can get his Spell pierce with our Spell pierce. Whew. Whew. Heaters. Heaters. Don't you have it? Don't you have it? Yeah. That one Spell pierce. It's so good. Boom. Just a strike, baby. What are you going to do when I just a strike all over you? Sounds fairly perverted. Guess I'd rather play around Spell Pierce, so. What? Don't kick our fam. So go ahead and bounce that, or kill that one because of the blocky stuff. Yes, I said the blocky stuff. Guess I want to play around Spell Pierce. Sucks that we have to take 2 points of damage, but I think it's worth it. They have a dive down, they have a dive down. Oh, that's a good card. I think he kicked it, didn't he? What do you do when you want all your cards? Whatever. I want all my cards. We might be still in a game versus a hard match. Oh, we did! Entrancing Melody! Oh, so close! So very close to being able to steal our Lyra! That would have sucked. Would have sucked that bad, but that would have sucked. Nice! Pity chest in the pocket! Thank you, Spell Pierce. Like I said before I played this event, I told you guys in chat that I wasn't ever going to sideboard this in, and I've sideboarded it in more than once. Pity chest, baby! Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. I have pizza in the fridge to celebrate this pity chest with. You can prove nothing, Handy Noodle. You can prove nothing. I have so many cards here on my desk that I was supposed to post on eBay tonight. But I just don't see myself posting any of these on eBay tonight. I'm going to flip through them so I can feel bad about the money that I could be making if I would waste... Oh well, never mind. I guess we're just playing. I could be making dollar bills. Hey! This guy's a strong player. I feel like this guy plays black-green most of the time, or Boros aggro decks. Everybody should sub to this guy. This guy's great. What? What a hater. But you lost to Murph? I think the only times I've lost to Murph is when he's like blatantly stream sniping me. I normally wouldn't counterspell this, especially when we have a Clarion already in our hand. But I have no spells. So. And he's not played any 1-drops or 2-drops, so that means like we're going to get wrecked. Well, that's not a common card. I think Murph just ghosts everybody, though, so... If you're a streamer and you lose to Murph, you probably got ghosted. Murph seems to have that type of attitude. Looks like we're about to draw 2 cards. Says a comment on the symbol. Actually, I'm probably not going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to assume that he's very close to Carnage Tyranting us. And I'm probably going to want to do the Kickaroony on the Clarion. He doesn't cast anything this turn. I guess I would draw 2, but... Alright, I give up. I want my cards. Oh, they're playing that build of the deck. I have no idea how to sideboard versus this build of the deck. Just none. I am absolutely clueless how to sideboard versus this build of the deck. I vaguely even know what's in it. They're gonna get back a midnight Reaper friend? We have a lot of mana. And this. It's gotta be good for something. They still have 7 cards in their hand. I don't want to take any more damage. Because I want the ability to be able to take a turn off of settling if I want. Well, that's 9 mana. So we're 1 land and an explosion away from doing the dirty. Pretty sure I just settled a wreckage here if they have it. I think I have to. If they have a carnage, they have a carnage. But I don't think I can not settle here. Even if they have a carnage, I can always just throw the fight with fire at them and pray that I draw the last fight with fire or the other thing. I think the card I'm most worried about is the big thing. I don't know what it's called. What's the big thing called? Molder Hulk or whatever. Alright, so we have 2 cards that just win the game. We can also draw any Planeswalkers pretty good here. Potentially another Deafening Clarion would be good here. Alright, well, Planeswalkers aren't good here anymore. JK, Planeswalker's not good here anymore. Alright. So we have like a 5% chance to hit. Could also draw another Settled Wreckage and get a redraw. Yeah, well, we're dead if we don't hit 1 of 3 cards. I don't think we even have redraw. Well, we could... Okay, yep, we gotta draw 1 of 3 cards now. That's it! Man, that felt good. That felt good. Whew. 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 Felt good. Alright. Well, this card seems good. This card seems good. This card seems good. at a minimum. If they're not playing Planeswalkers, I actually think these get a lot better. So I know I want these. And then after that, I have no idea what I want. Just no idea. Let's think about what I would sideboard out. I typically sideboard out these 5 cards. But when I sideboard out these 5 cards, I'm bringing in negates. Like, I typically sideboard like this. But the fact that they don't have Planeswalkers means I probably don't want to negate. And if they're not running all the Planeswalkers, I might not want the Mirari's Conjecture either. Or I may want the Mirari's Conjecture, rather. And then, like, this card gets better. But I don't know if they play Brontodon. So I don't know how much better. The same with this. I definitely don't think I want that. I think I'm going to keep this. Maybe I'm just going to do this. Really don't like counter spells here. I wonder if Lyra just gets a lot better if they're not playing Vivian Reed. Like, I can see arguments for any of these 8 cards over here. Just gonna go with this. Wait, it doesn't have a standard classic? That's ridiculous. I really want to go to Columbus to play the standard classic this weekend. God. Amulet. Ugh. Just play Grixis, Death Shadow, or Humans and know that you have no bad matches. Yes, I know I'm talking absurdly hyperbolic, and what I just said is not remotely true. But it's cool to say. Like, I think Death Shadow's absurdly well positioned right now, and I think Humans beats Death Shadow, which is the reason I said those 2 decks. I mean, we have 3 sweepers and a Fight with Fire in our hand. That's 4 sweepers, right? We locked and loaded. No, don't get your fam back. Ooh, mono sweepers, baby. Let's go. I'm gonna attempt my best not to play this one though because of Mulder Hulk. Of course, that's probably stupid because if I cast this, they get closer to playing Mulder Hulk as well. I've only been paired versus Amulet twice recently, and both times I was on Blue-Black Mill and had a nice hearty chuckle about how easy the match was. That's what you should play. Just play Blue-Black Mill and not care. Blue-black mill's the real jam. It's the Jiminy jam. Anytime you want to jam. Okay, our opponent's just done. Opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Alright, well, 4-1. Huh. Would have, thought he would have played the match. I guess his hand had to be miserable. I wouldn't expect somebody with like 12 plus trophies just to give up, but their hand had to be miserable. I played it in 5 leagues so far, and I absolutely love it. It's kind of bad versus humans. Almost every deck I mentioned is bad versus humans, by the way. But it is strong. It's surprisingly strong versus spirits. It's extremely strong versus Tron. Extremely strong, at least, extremely strong versus Storm. Pretty good versus Death Shadows. What else? It's bad versus Infect. Now you gotta go spit it up. Just look at the top cards. So blue black's good versus these are just the decks on Moto. Obviously, ignore this percentage because only one posting can come from a particular deck. But like, it's good versus Phoenix. It's good versus Dredge. It's good versus Bant Spirits. It's like medium versus Ironworks. You'd think it'd be great versus Ironworks, but it's actually a really close match. I call it like 50-50. It's pretty evenish versus Grixis Death Shadow. It really depends on the build. It's great versus Tron. It's bad versus Burn. It's bad versus humans. It's great versus Hollow One. It's great versus Storm. It's bad versus Hardened Scales, and it's great versus Blue-White Control. Use Surgical Extraction or extirpate their Goblin Warrens and their Grape Shot. So like game one you just get their Grape Shot. They generally don't have a second kill condition. Game 2, you hold your mill spells and you don't use them very early. And then when like they resolve, or when they put like their Passing Flames on the stack or whatever, you pull one out then. But you just beat them the same way like Jund would beat them. You play your Inquisitions, you play your Collective Returns, you discard like whatever spells giving them massive amounts of card advantage. I mean, it's different at the time. It can be, pieces to the puzzle. It can be their Gifts Ungiven. In some situations, like it can even be their Mana Morpos. And then between your extirpates and your surgical extractions, you just plink away their kill conditions. And the really cool thing about extirpate in general is that it has split second. So if they're in the process of going off with Storm and going off with their instant speed effects, you can like pluck it then, which is so ridiculous because like not surgical can't always do that because they can respond to surgical, but they can't respond to the extirpate. It's good versus Jund. It's fantastic versus Titan. It's good versus Rock. And there's another Jund deck, Jund Death Shadow. I assume it's good there, but I've honestly never played it. Like the worst part about Blue Black Mill is this mana base is ridiculously bad because you need the 4. You really need the 4. What are they called? I'm brain farting on a name, so I'm gonna go look it up. You really need your 4 Field of Runes. So like in a deck that plays usually 21 to 23 lands, having 4 random colorless lands and a couple lands that come into play tapped can just cost you some games. But like that's one of the few decks I've been playing a lot lately. And I don't know if it's exactly tier 1 because like I said, it loses to itself a lot. But like it feels like it's favored in all of those matches. No, extirpate's insane. And split second's insane. That and the Phoenix decks are the only decks that I've been having consistent success with when testing Modern. But like I'm new to Modern, so there's a lot of things I don't know about Modern. And what I'm saying might not be 100% accurate. It's what I've noticed in the study I've did and the play I've did. I've got a feeling that KCI is just the strongest deck, but I believe it's a little bit too over my head. Also believe that Dredge is a little too over my head and probably a really strong deck as well. But yeah, I need to start learning KCI off stream. But anyway, so this is the list we played today. It felt really good. The one of main deck opt was exceptionally awkward. Like, I don't know if I would run the opt again. Like, maybe I would just play a Search for Azcanta over top of it. And I really missed having access to some lava coils. There was multiple matches I wanted to bring lava coils in today. I have no idea what I would cut for those. But overall, I really like this build of the deck, and it was pretty sweet. But I have to use the restroom, and I have to go get my pity pizza afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Talk to you guys later.